obelisk.
The third stage is taken from a stone pillar of ancient Egypt, the obelisk. Who will receive the pharaoh's praise upon the capstone? These stone shafts will make anyone who attempts to climb them lose their footing. Go forth and use your expertise and intuition to forge a path.
Hello everyone, Barak here, and you may be noticing this is co-op. Mainly because my brother was over and he's like, oh, what's this you're playing? I'm like, Catherine. He's like, oh, can I play? I'm like, sure, because, you know, he's pretty good at puzzle games, and I had been hitting a brick wall. I completed Obelisk once by myself, and for days, I mean days afterwards, I could not get it again. So, I knew pretty much with co-op, it was pretty much a sure thing.
Stage 3,
But still, I mean, he did help, especially
there
at
they
the
are,
end.
The hottest pair. Babel has broken the spirit of many a man. What will Babel be offering us tonight?
Now the reason
And
I'm not
away
showing
they
the solo
go.
one is because
Babel
after the
challenge
end of
is
the
on.
recording from that one, my computer went, oh, blue screen, so I didn't actually get it recorded. I was so mad. I mean, seriously, it was my first time beating Obelisk by myself, and all of a sudden, blue screen. That really will tick a guy off. But anyway, back on topic here. Now, I wouldn't really expect a whole lot of action from Catherine this time. Like I said, my brother was just learning the game. He was basically waiting for me to tell him what to do. I mean, he got pretty good towards the end, but in the beginning, he didn't know what was up. He basically watched me, made sure he didn't really screw anything up royally, is basically it. Meanwhile, I had to readjust to actually co-op because I was like, okay, I can't just use these cracked blocks because if I use the cracked blocks, that's going to strand him down there, and I can't do that because then that would annoy him, and you know, the whole thing. I told him, you know, you can go on them once, but you know, try not to stay on them.
New record, new record.
And this is where the challenging part of Catherine comes in. You can't, yeah, you gotta be careful about how you do things so you can actually both get around on narrow corridors. Or narrow ledges. That's the part of the challenge, but it's also very fun once you get someone who's actually, you know, pretty good at coordinating.
New record. New record.
Of course, if you don't have someone that's really great at coordinating right off the bat, it can get a little tedious, but thankfully it's not that bad once the two of you get in a rhythm together, really. Now, obviously, as you can tell though, he didn't want to put his voice on the internet. Because, hell, he didn't even want me to put this up on YouTube. He's like, don't put this on YouTube, I just look like a complete noob. I'm like, yeah, we did pretty good, don't worry. But yeah, it's a very fun co-op game. I just really wish they had, you know, online co-op, but enough complaining about that.
New record, new record, new record.
I've noticed in co-op, it inevitably comes down to two roles. You're either, one, the guy in the back, who is either stabilizing the route, or you're the guy leading, or, in this case, the guy actually, you know, doing most things is the guy in the front. But still, I mean, it's better to, you know, coordinate with your partner in co-op and Catherine which one you're going to be, so you don't have both of you trying to rush up there and stranding somebody.
New record, new record.
It goes without saying, if you are the guy in front, try not to strand your partner. That can really tick them off. At least in my experiences in the past. I admit I've been a bad co-op partner at times when I was learning the game and they were still learning the game. That guy quit playing Catherine, but still, I mean, you know, back when we were both new to the game, I was the guy that said, I'll lead. Yeah, you shouldn't have let me lead. You never let me lead.
New record.
And it's doubly important. Please, for the love of God, do not set off a bomb in co-op. That is a surefire way of getting you both killed. Your worst enemy, ironically, in co-op is usually cracked blocks, because you usually take that for granted while playing single player. Because, yeah, you can only step on them twice. So you better make sure you don't unnecessarily step on them.
That's moving all by itself. New record, new record, new record, new record.
And this is just where it gets completely, shall we say, complicated. Because I didn't even know what to do. You see me going, well, how am I gonna do this? I mean, really, can you think of a way out of this? I mean, obviously you probably can, since you're better than me in this, probably more likely of it. Yeah, I think he was getting a little antsy at this point. He's starting to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But, I mean, I was kind of taking my sweet time here, but oh, yeah. I was like, okay, whatever you do, when we go across this, go across it fast.
New record.
One thing about Obelisk, though, is you have to watch out for those mystery blocks. If you stay on a mystery block very long, well, let's just say you're rolling the dice on whether you're actually going to make it out of it alive. It can be any block, I believe, except a black hole block. It can be any one of those besides a black hole. It can be a spike trap. It can be a heavy block, ice block, a bomb block, a moving block. It can be anything.
New record.
And be especially careful around moving blocks. If they're above you and you have nothing to the sides of you, that thing can come right down on top of you and squash you. It seems like a maniacal intent. It wants to kill you, or just possibly screw your route over. That's one of the things that make Obelisk so deceptively dangerous. It has self-moving blocks that can and will try to just completely ruin your path. I only have one piece of advice when it comes to moving blocks, or well, maybe two. One of which is you can try and diffuse them by doing what I did right there. You step on top of it. Or you can try and keep two paths open at all times. That's a bit more difficult, though. More difficult, but it is a lot safer, really, because if you don't, and you commit to one path, overcommit, and you get that path ruined, well, I hope you are really good at improvising, because if you're not, goodbye. But yeah, it is a lot safer to do the whole, two-path thing than it is to try and defuse them, because they can and will move if they're over a giant pit. Then that will get you killed. You'll fall into the abyss and break your back, which is never a fun thing to have happen to you, especially in co-op.
New record.
And usually, if at all possible, you want to try and bridge two towers together. You don't want to have a Lord of the Rings two-tower situation. You want to have one thing where you can have an escape plan. Like I said, two paths is a lot more safe than one.
New record. New record. New record. New record. New record. New records.
In co-op, though, it is especially helpful to get the two towers together so you can have more room to maneuver, because half the battle in co-op and Catherine is trying not to push each other off of cliffs, which you can do, which is how we died a few times. That's how we died on floor 100 up there. I accidentally pushed him off the thing because I didn't realize that at the time. Yeah, it's not a good thing to do, to push your brother into an abyss, generally, apparently not. He didn't appreciate it.
Step counter just hit 110. New record. New record.
But the really good thing about co-op in Babel is the stages are a lot shorter. I mean, a lot shorter. I think Obelisk is normally, what, 220, something like that? 220, I think, I want to say? Something like that. And this way, it is only 150, I want to say? That moment when the person you're guiding is looking to you to figure out where the heck to go and you have no idea what to do. Yeah, this is that kind of situation for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm panicking at this point, but trying not to show it.
New record. New record. record. New record.
And this is where he goes, what happens if, why don't I just like push this and then you push that and then we'll just like make a new platform out of this. I'm like, do it. I got nothing. Go ahead, go for it. And I gotta tell you, it actually worked a lot better than I thought it would, because he's like, alright, now just push yours down and we got it.
New record. Edge. New record.
I'm telling you, if it hadn't been for his stroke of genius during parts of this, I don't think we would have gotten through this.
Edge. New record. New record. New record.
If you're wondering what I'm doing at this point, I don't think I even knew what I was doing.
Your beautiful climbing skills moved me to tears. I haven't been this excited in a while.
Edge. New record. Edge.
This looks like a horrible situation, doesn't it? I think it does, because we don't really have any solid platforms whatsoever, but somehow we managed to pull through in this somehow. I'm kind of curious how in the heck did we pull this off. Oh, I see. That's actually quite nice. This is one of the most dangerous parts of the whole climb, because this is where they introduce Babel blocks, and they are not movable whatsoever. Like in the previous stages of Babel, you have to be extremely careful here and try not to end your path at a Babel block.
New record.
Of course, it's a little more difficult when you gotta try and keep a path for yourself here, but it is possible. I don't remember how exactly we managed this, but oh boy, I darn near screwed this all up for us, I see. Oh, I see. We had to get one more block to get a vertical base. That's how we did this. Haha.
New record.
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. That's basically it. Now we're basically going to sprint towards the finish line. I figured I would take the spider route just to be a little safer about it.
New record.
Here I go.
Unbelievable. They just finished the
All I
obelisk.
can say is, wow.
This is a surprise. I was actually quite fascinated.
Okay, it was 134 floors. That's even shorter than I remembered it being. But yes, cleared the obelisk, and I don't even remember what. I think we were like, what, 385th? Team Rock 214. Yes. Anyway, guys, this was Obelisk in co-op, and yep. I wish I'm probably going to try and do solo, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that because I always seem to fail really badly. Really badly by myself in solo. But yep. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I shall see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.